Easy people, nice things. Your Akai Force #1 one-to-one trainer here with another beginner's guide one. This one's to saves that. Oh yeah, I'm also on Instagram. Um, Better late than never, I guess. I'm so behind on social media stuff. It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for myself, but I digress. Anyway, this one is a beginner guide to save. Now, everybody probably thinks, oh yeah, I know save. It's that button there, you just press it and that's it, you save it. But there's different types of save. Let me move this up a little bit. Not that you have to see all of this, but I always like to show stuff. So, if you press here, you've got different types of save. I don't even know if I'm going to have to play out for this. I think I'm just going to explain. Right, so you can see the screen. Project is the main one. When you press save, that means that's anything on here, in here, is saved. Blam. Yeah, that's what you usually use. Project as, this is a way you can like get rid of samples that you don't need. Slightly long way around the shop here, but it is what it is until they resolve some way of doing it. And how you do that is, let's say I had a project here and I had a whole heap of samples. Say I had a multi-layered piano for some reason. I was using it and I didn't like flatten it just to a loop, which you should do to get rid of all your stuff. If you're ever using key groups, you should do that, I personally think. But anyway, I digress. Say you've got all that. You go here to purge, and this is 3.6, slightly different if you've got the new one, but you'll go to purge and you press purge there and get rid of all unused samples that you don't want. Then you go to save and go project as. If you go into project as, then you can go to rename it, and what will happen is it'll create a new project or based on the project that you have in, and you save that. So like, I don't know, let's say you've got Apple Beats, Apple iPhone 13. This is when we did it. So say you've got iPhone 13 as your main first project track, and then you want to change it all up and get rid of all the rubbish that you don't want. Then you go save it as iPhone 13 2, and then go back in and just delete that folder, and you go back into browser here, you go look for the folder that you wanted. That's probably the best way to attack it, and then you just go here and right click it, and then you can just delete files, and you could just delete the thing that you don't want, and that's a way of saving your memory. So that's project as. Or if you just want another backup file, say you want to save that file off to a SD card or a USB stick or something like that, and you don't want to connect it to a computer, you can use project as, and that'll make it save, because it'll bring it up, and then you can say I'm going to save it somewhere else. So that's that. New project here is, it's not saved, but it's another thing, is by pressing this it'll just restart this. I'll show you. It's the same one as what you can do up there by going to menu and new thingy. And then you just back to the splash screen. So that's that. Track, I think, is my favorite thing, because track, you can do so much things with track. You can make for DJing. If you're that kind of DJ, I've had this conversation before, and you can look at my line, because you don't have pitch bend here per se. What you want to do is you want to analyze the tracks and then set up what I call DJ tracks, and you can track what track is. It just saves that track. So let's say, for example, you had a synth that you tweaked and in hype and everything, and you said, and you've got echo effects on it and whatever, and you say, oh, that's ace, I wouldn't mind using that in another tune. It's instead of saving it as a preset, you're saving this whole track as one thing, and that means you can load a track in anytime. So you can save this track out and say, like, just for the sake of argument, say I create a folder and I call it my synth sounds or something like that. Go to favorite synths or something like that. I can load up them tracks. So I could load up a synth here, synth there, save up to 8, obviously. And that would be a track depending on what it was. For example, if I had a drum kit that I've done, and I've put a compressor on this drum kit, and then I've got something across here and this and all types of shenanigans, I can save that and it's a track. The DJ track thing is the same. If I flatten tracks on here and I've got like a loop there of a chorus and a thing there of another thing, and maybe I've developed a whole song, I could create a song on one track. And now I can just load that in, so I can load it and delete that track, that one track. So that is so much different uses you can do. Track effects, same thing. If you've done a rack of effects and you say, wow, I like that, then you can either just save it there or you can save it in Mixer. So you can go to Mixer and you go in it all here, and you can save it there and it'll save it there. But it's also here and that'll save the rack. And so you can build your own presets. Plugin program is a preset. So if you saved, say you had the piano again, but you tweak the piano, not the track, the actual like hype. Say if I went and I said, right, well, I'm doing all this and I've got that and this and all that, and now I'm going to call it Charlie. Right, I could save it there, but say I forgot or somehow I don't like saving it there, I can do it to that. But also that's same true with if you had a MIDI program. Don't quote me on this because I don't really deal with that side. Like I said, I've always tried to just do this by itself. But with a MIDI program, you could actually probably assign and arrange the CCs right, and then you could just save that. So that's for that kind of thing. A drum synth, you could probably do that if you tweak the drum synth and save it same way. All clips is all clips, as it said. So if you had that and then you wanted to export them and it'll save them, it'll flatten them as clips. So that's kind of another one of flattening. Audio mixdown. Audio mixdown's great. And I'll tell you why audio mixdown's great for this. If I go audio mixdown here and I press this, Project Savers Preview, what that does is you can create a little preview of a tune, so that you don't say if you've got like me, you've got a whole heap of projects here and you say, oh, I don't know what's this track. I can just go here and audition it. If I've got audition on, maybe that one doesn't have one. Some of them I've just not got round to. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Let me have a look. So that one doesn't have one on because some of them I haven't done. That one has. Do you know what I mean? All of these don't necessarily have ones on because I just haven't got round to doing them. But you can do that on a project preview, and you do that by creating a little preview in the arrangement. So that's really good for if you've got a whole load of songs and say, I don't know, you've got an artist and you're some beat maker kind of guy and you want to go through a whole load and you say, yeah, this one, and you say, oh yeah, yo, like that video with it, Jay-Z and Timberlake, where he keeps loading up tunes. But instead of doing that, you can just flick through and somebody says, yeah, that's the one. Let's start recording that. So that's why that is. Also, it's audio mixed down with all the rest of the shenanigans as well. But I never have used it like that because I said I've always done stuff internally so far. And the last one is you can save that, which is export, and that'll create it, whatever you've got in here as an Ableton Live track. So you can now take that off an SD card or whatever, or internal drive or whatever, and connect it to computer, and then you can load it up and it'll load up as an Ableton Live track and you can work further on it. Don't see the point myself, but it's there. And the reason why I say I don't see the point is, so far I can't think of anything that you can't do on this that you can do in Ableton, bar some really quite technical things, which are so far technical that I would say there's very few people who even use Ableton at that level. So, and that's my belief, and I'm somebody who's like, I'd say I'm pretty decent with Ableton. I'm probably above decent with Ableton. I'm pretty, in fact, I'm lying. I'm pretty damn advanced with Ableton, to tell the truth. But I mean, I don't even use Ableton anymore because, like I said, I think you can do everything in here. So anyway, that was kind of waffly, but I wanted to show you because Save has so many elements. There is something I'm missing here, and it's drum. And that's really interesting here. And because I'm going back and forth through all of the way that these kits are, that's interesting because there is a Save kit. I'm sure there is. And I've just looked at that and I've thought, well, that's weird. Why have I not seen that there? I don't know. Maybe that was on an earlier one. I think they might have got rid of kit. So anyway, if you want to do a drum kit and you've got all the drum kit together, you save it as track, and that'll give you all the effects of the track. So this is 3.06. So just keep that in mind. All right then. Hope that's been all right. Kind of a little longer than I wanted it to go on, but you're learning them. Each one teach one. So until next time, as always, stay safe and of course, peace.